Why? What would you do if your boss mocked your home, your dreams, and your worth in front of your wife?
There's a moment in every man's life when something inside him snaps. It's not a loud, dramatic break, but a quiet shift, like a steel cable tightening until it finally gives. For me, that moment arrived in a ballroom filled with expensive suits, crystal chandeliers, and forced laughter. The moment my boss humiliated me in front of my wife, something inside me changed forever. My name is John Mitchell. I'm a middle-class kid, the son of a math teacher and a nurse. I fought my way into Boston University, graduated with debt and ambition, and landed a job at Criterion Investments. It was one of those firms filled with guys who pretended they were Goldman Sachs but acted more like reality TV villains in tailored suits. I survived there for a decade. Then Andrew Welsh, my boss, crossed a line he could never uncross. Criterion's annual gala was at Oakmont Country Club, where the parking lot looked like a luxury car dealership. My wife, Sara, walked in beside me, looking absolutely stunning. I felt like the luckiest man alive, until Andrew saw us. I'd made the mistake of showing some coworkers photos of the Victorian home I'd just bought in West Hill, a neighborhood I believed was on the verge of $1 billion revitalization. It was a risk, sure, but I was convinced it was the smartest one I'd ever taken. Then Andrew's laugh cut through the room. "Mitchell, please tell me you didn't actually buy a house in West Hill. What did you spend $20 and a tetanus shot?" A few people laughed. Sarah's face flushed red, and I felt the heat creep up my neck, but he wasn't done. He grabbed my phone, held up the photos for everyone to see, and announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mitchell the investment genius has purchased a crack house." More laughter echoed around us. Sara stepped forward. "Andrew, that's enough." He just smirked at her, then jabbed a thumb at me. "If I were you, Sara, I'd seriously question his decision-making. That wasn't just humiliation. It was a public execution." We left early. The drive home was silent until Sara finally spoke, her voice small. "John, did we make a mistake?" Her doubt hurt more than Andrew's mockery. That night, staring at the ceiling, I made a promise to myself. I would prove every single one of them wrong. And when I did, Andrew would choke on every laugh, so I worked. My day job at Criterion, and then nights, weekends, and holidays at the house. I taught myself plumbing, electrical work, historic restoration. I tore out rotted floors, rebuilt walls, and revived century-old trim. My hands blistered, my back screamed. But Sara was my rock-hot baths, late dinners, and the kind of encouragement I clung to like oxygen. I started a renovation blog, the West Hill Victorian, just posting before and after photos. It exploded. Tens of thousands of followers, magazine features, even a TV segment. Then came the big news. The city announced the West Hill Revitalization Initiative, $1 billion investment. Sara cried tears of joy. Andrew, at work, was silent, and the house. It became a masterpiece. We listed it for $450,000 and sold it for $480,000. We quadrupled our life savings overnight. Andrew, still mocking me at the office, had no idea he'd just awakened something dangerous. My moment of revenge came in the most unexpected way. Word got around that Andrew was now house hunting in the fashionable West Hill. He overpaid for a home, $600,000 for a place worth far less. I accidentally ran into him and his wife at an open house. As he stood there, I casually mentioned to the agent, "Yeah, I sold my Victorian for $480,000 after buying it for $120,000. That renovation made my new investment company possible." Andrew froze. His wife, Becca, suddenly looked at me differently. Sara slid her hand into mine as we walked away, and we heard Becca hiss at him, "You told me this neighborhood was worthless." That was the first crack in his perfect life. The second came when a live music venue opened across from his new home, destroying his property value. Then Criterion fired him. Then Becca left him. His downfall was almost poetic. One rainy Tuesday, I found him in a cafe, a ghost of the man who'd once mocked me. He confessed everything had collapsed. "Isn't this what you wanted?" he asked bitterly. And I answered honestly, "No, I never wanted to destroy you. I just wanted you to stop laughing at me." He looked like a drowning man. "What am I supposed to do now?" he asked. And in that moment, something shifted again. Compassion, or maybe just the realization that real power I sent. T crushing someone it s choosing mercy when you don't have to. What if I offered you a job? I said. His eyes widened. At my investment firm, mid-level, bonuses based on performance? He was stunned. Report to you? He asked. Yes, I replied. He nodded. 6 days later he accepted. Andrew worked hard. He was humbler, quieter, more human. The ego was still there, but the cruelty was gone. At our company Christmas party, I watched him chatting politely with younger employees. Sara stood beside me in a red dress that stole the room's attention. Any regrets? She asked. I looked at her, then at Andrew, then at the path we'd carved. Not a single one, I said. Because the man who once laughed at me no longer had that laugh. And the best revenge wasn't bringing him down. It was rising so far above him that I could afford to lift him back up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.